Okay, a couple of days ago, I believe, I did a video saying that my old man had gone mad, doolally, bonkers, completely bonkers, because he'd suggested West Ham would finish second. And quite frankly, I brought him on to explain himself, and a few of you demanded it as well. May I say, we had that from Carl. We had that from Hughes. So clearly they wanted to hear what he's got to say for some unknown reason. I don't know. I've heard it all before, quite frankly. Then he started getting a bit of support because I'd said he was mad. All sorts of things coming up. Very, very strange. But before we go any further, this all started. We've got a forum. We've got a website, Hammers Chat, hammerschat.com. He posted this on the forum. Everyone is going to laugh at me. Oh, we laughed. All right. We laughed. Everyone is going to laugh at me, but here goes. Second, 74 points plus 16. I guess that's goal difference. Here's my reckoning. He goes on to explain, and I tried to explain much of this. It's received more support than I thought. So he suggested second. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty? Guilty. Right, okay. Do you care to explain yourself?
Well, the main thing that I think we've got going for us this season is that we've got one focus, and we've got a team that are all playing together, all pulling in the same direction. There don't appear to be any bad apples. There's good competition. And with a few exceptions, if players go injured or get suspended or sent off or anything, we've got ready-made replacements to come in. Moyes seems to be instructing people in how he wants the team to play, and all the players are playing their part. That hasn't been the way in the past. You know, the likes of Anderson used to sulk. Haller could only play one way. You look at loads of different players now playing in unusual roles, and they're doing a job for the team, and the team are appreciating them doing it. And, you know, people are, as you said in your video this morning, people are going that extra mile. Souček, Soufal, Dawson, Rice, you know, they're all fully committed, and they'll die for their colleagues. You know, it's good to see. We haven't had that spirit at West Ham for quite a long time, probably since the 2016 season where Pyatt was absolutely central to everything. If he wasn't there, you know, we really were in trouble, as we saw when McLean did that tackle on him in the was it the West Brom game or the Everton game? I can't remember.
It was Everton game, actually. I think they injured Lanzini in the same game, actually.
Yeah. He was out for about 6 to 8 weeks. We fell apart in the league in that point. But then when he returned, I remember going to the Bournemouth game, and I think that was his second game back, if I remember. And from then till the end of the season, until about the Swansea game, which I think was the second last game of the season, we were absolutely on fire. And again, everybody was pulling in the same direction. It's so important. But the thing is now, we have got one focus, and nobody else who's in competition with us has got that same focus. And I don't think any of them, if you ask most of the other team managers or owners what's their focus, most of them will say it's Europe. You know, we're the team that are really 100% focused on the league.
You know, I mean, Leicester are surely focused on the league, though, right?
They're in Europe. They're in the FA Cup final. They've never won the FA Cup. Never. They've been in the final 4 or 5 times. They hold the record for being the team that's been in the final most and never having won it. So if they manage to get past Man City, their focus will definitely be on winning the FA Cup, because it's something they've never ever done before. They've also never won a European trophy. They're still in the Europa League. I think they got quite a good result in the first leg of whoever they were playing. I can't remember who it was.
I know it yesterday.
Yeah, but anyway, So they're fighting on 3 different fronts, and one of their problems is they're very reliant on 3 players: Johnny Evans at the back, Maddison in midfield, and Vardy up front. It's been announced today that Maddison's got a problem, is going to be out for at least 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not sure that Vardy is actually back to his old self either. So, I can see Leicester falling away like they fell away towards the end of last season. They've got
it was Slavia Prague. It's 0-0, so the game's still in the balance, which is
Okay,
where our two fellas came from.
Yeah, so they've basically got to put out a full strength side in the Europa League if they want to progress. And again, that's another way into the Champions League.
Well, I mean, but second is quite. I mean, look, I mean, you've been following West Ham since the late 30s, so you've seen a few teams in your time, clearly.
Well, I almost went to the White Horse Cup final, of course.
Did you?
No. my dad was 2 when the White Horse Cup final was played.
I don't want you to start getting all misty-eyed and nostalgic about the old times. I don't want to hear about Vic Watson and all of this sort of standing on the terraces with your rattle. I don't want to hear about all that, right? I want to stick to the subject hand. But second's quite. Why don't you just say fourth? Why go in all nuclear on the forum with a second?
I don't think, because it asks for opinions, and my opinion is if we look at all the fixtures that we've got left, our most difficult fixture is the next one.
Yes.
But after that, every single other game, I think we're in the game. And I wouldn't put any of them down at this moment in time as one that I think will lose.
Okay. Well, you were spamming me. You were spamming me earlier. You sent me some junk mail or something. Would you care to explain what that is?
Well, that's the current form table. If you look at the last 8 games, we're second in the form table, behind Man City. Admittedly, they've won 8 on the trot. Well, in fact, I think they've won about 17 on the trot.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah.
And they're 1-0 up tonight.
Are they?
But where's their focus? Guardiola is obsessed with winning the Champions League. He's played a very strong team today. He's got to come to Upton Park in under 3 days' time. He'll be moaning like mad about why poor, unfortunate Man City have been done up again by the Premier League, putting them at 12:30 on a Saturday.
Yeah, Mönchengladbach 2-0 up at the moment against Mönchengladbach.
Oh, okay, all right. They've obviously scored since I last looked 5 minutes ago. But if you look at the side they've played, it's pretty much their strongest side. De Bruyne's on the bench and Fernandinho, and of course Aguero's been injured. But the rest of the side is pretty well their top side. And they've gone out to Bucharest. All this travelling eventually will wear them down. They've got a huge number of games, but to be honest, I don't care too much about them. Except I think we can potentially get a result.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So who do you want to go for next? We've got Leeds after that. When we played Leeds at Leeds, we outplayed them. We outsmarted them. I think Moyes will do that again because Bielsa only plays one way. Everybody knows how he's going to set up, and Bielsa's a bit like Guardiola. He does, to a certain extent, look at what the opposition are doing. But if you look at that Leeds team, they must be petrified of what we'll do to them from free kicks and corners. I mean, they're one of these teams that defend zonally, and Paul Nevin and the rest. You look at our back 5. Every single one of them is capable of scoring. You've got Souček, Rice, Dawson, Diop. They're all major threats. Leeds have got about 2 big players, maybe 3. They haven't got 5. And we've got Bowen and Cresswell who can lay it on for them.
Okay. So you think we'll beat Leeds? Actually, it's a real shame I can't get this up there. I've got to give him some credit because he's gone to the trouble of basically doing. He listened to the video about you. It's Kevin, by the way, Kevin Locke, and he's gone and done a
Not the
prediction.
Kevin Locke.
What? No, he's done a prediction. Well, first of all, he's gone with a form as well, which is basic. It wasn't in a JPEG, so I couldn't bring it up now. Basically, West Ham are ranked second in since Christmas Day, which is you have 2.2 points per match. So he's done it. City have 3, we have 2.2. Leicester have 2 points a match. Man United 1.9, Arsenal 1.8. Anyway, that's what it is. But also he's done a little predictor from now until the end of the season. And he actually has us finishing second. So he's done what you suggested. And I think he's gone through. There is some software somewhere. I can't remember where it is. It's actually done it, leaguetablecalculator.com. You want to do it and you want to pop it down underneath in the comments below on here. He's done that and he has extrapolated a number crunched. And he's come up with West Ham finishing second as well with 78 points. Leicester third with 76 and Man United fourth with 74. So you've discussed, to be honest with you, I think your appraisal of Man City is optimistic. If we got something from it, it'd be a miracle. I'll tell you what, I'd actually start to believe that we could get top 4 certainly. However,
I think if we were going to play Man City and Man City had the same amount of prep time and they hadn't had so much run out of their legs, I'd agree with you. But that's not going to be the situation. This game tonight will take something out of them, and they've had lots of games before. It's one of these cumulative things. You can't keep going forever, and I think they're going to start struggling at some point. And
they've just gone 5-0 up, by the way.
Nice one.
So yeah, they're going to start struggling. All right, listen, you've done Leeds. You've explained that. I sort of agree with that. Really, to be honest with you, we're a little bit too well organised, a little bit too fit, a little bit too street savvy. And you're right, they're very predictable. I'm sure Moyes is rubbing his hands, thinking, okay, so get up, lads. Particularly if we can keep Antonio fit as well. He's a massive threat on the counter. Let's go with Man United then. Talk down Manchester United for us, which is obviously on the 14th of March.
Well, again, they're in the Cup. They're also in the Europa League. I don't know if you can remember back to the end of last season. They went on a really strong run towards the end of last season. And then all of a sudden, Bruno Fernandes just blew up. He just sort of disappeared off the face of the earth. His legs were gone. The guy has played since he came on against us back in October, I think it was, when they stole that game with the ball that was put out down the side. Since that game, how many minutes of Premier League football has he missed?
You're going to tell us, aren't you? Tell us all of them. Tell us all of the minutes.
8. He's played every single game. He's been substituted 3 times, once in the 86th minute and twice in the 88th minute.
Right. Have you done your prep before doing this video? Have you? No. All right.
Not at all.
Okay. Okay. So what about what? Right. Okay. So has he been playing in Europe as well then?
Not all the time, but he travels, and he does tend to make cameo appearances in Europe, and of course he's been playing in the FA Cup as well.
Fair enough. Okay, right. After Man United, Arsenal. Tell us how bad Arsenal are.
Arsenal's defence are awful. David Luiz is a liability. I'm sure Moyes and his trusty lieutenants will have a scheme worked out for David Luiz and how to expose him.
Kevin, on his predictor, Kevin Locke, it's got Arsenal finishing 12th actually. But go on, carry on.
Well, last year we lost to Arsenal, but that was in the Pellegrini era. I mean, this season we played them and we should have beaten them.
We should have. We should have.
At Highbury, we were really unlucky, and that was the first game really.
Sorry, you're going back to your Whitehorse Cup final again. It's not Highbury. All right, mate. and we're not Upton Park either. Okay.
Aren't we? No,
I
it's the
know you're getting
Golding Ground
confused.
now, isn't it?
He's still fuming the first time we moved stadium. The old man, I tell you, he can't believe it. When we said to him we're leaving Upton Park and moving stadium, he said not again.
Well, they've only been 105 years.
There you go. So yeah, okay. So sorry, David. Tell us more about Arsenal. We don't have to. We've heard enough, haven't we? We've heard enough about Arsenal. And in fact,
the other problem with Arsenal is that I don't think things are that good in the camp. There's Aubameyang stopped scoring. I think he has scored in the last couple of games, but before that he hadn't scored for about 10 games. And Lacazette, I think, must be getting peed off because Aubameyang keeps being played in front of him. I'm not sure that Arteta is working out as a manager, and I just don't see them as a joined up team. Again, Xhaka is somebody that I think you can work on. So between him and David Luiz, I'm sure that Mr. Nolan and Mr. Pearce will come up with some strategies that will play to their weaknesses.
Maybe they'll just shout at him from the touchline. Right, we got a press on because it's getting quite a long video. Where are we? Wolves. You don't even have to.
Wolves aren't the side. They aren't the side they were last year. Jimenez might be back by then, which will be a little bit of a problem, but they're really missing him and Jota. I worry about Traore, but then who doesn't? But having said all that...
Gio doesn't.
Well, having said all that, how many goals has Traore scored or created this season? It's actually very few. So... Soufal seems to be able to cope with whatever's thrown at him. So I'm sure between him, Rice and Souček, they'll snuff him out. And, if Jimenez isn't back by then, who's going to score the goals for Wolves? And, I think we'll score against anyone, to be honest, at the moment.
Fair enough. Right, Leicester City, after that big game, that one.
How long will Maddison be out for? Is Vardy fit? And again, they've got the problems of the fixtures piling up. They've got Man City in the cup around the time they're playing us. They'll probably still be in the Europa League. I'm sure Slavia Prague will give them a good match, but I think they'll probably beat Slavia Prague. And as I said, there's 3 or 4 players in their team. I think when any of those disappears, it's a problem. If you remember back when Leicester won the league back in 2016, everybody all the way through the season said, oh, they're going to blow up, they're going to blow up. They didn't blow up. Why didn't they blow up? Because they were a well-led team who were incredibly focused, and they only had one focus. Their focus was on the league and nothing else. And everybody else was, oh, well, they've got games in hand, so they'll catch them. It never happens. The only time that I can remember it ever happening, unfortunately, was the time when Liverpool and Everton had games in hand on us back in 85 or whatever it was. And that time they did actually make those games in hand pay. But Leicester, they're not the same team. They've got some of the same individuals, but I think Wes Morgan's a big miss. And who was the Chelsea centre half? Huth. I think Morgan. The whole side was built on Morgan and Huth, and I think those two sort of really formed the basis with Kante in front of them. They're not that strong now. They've got some very good individual players, but I don't see them as a team in the same mould as we've got.
Okay, last but not least, so I'm not going to go through all the fixtures. I know you were speaking on the phone to me about this particular team. You had quite a lot to say. So it's not about, we do actually play them in the run-in, but they are right next to us in the league. And you have obviously predicted us to finish above all of these teams, apart from Man City. Chelsea, tell us about Chelsea. Why will we finish above Chelsea?
Chelsea, got a new manager. They've got some new players. The new players aren't working out particularly well. I think it's a side that can have petty squabbling coming in, from all angles. People will be getting pissed off that Werner continues to be played. He's not scoring goals. Why doesn't Giroud play? I can understand why Giroud doesn't play, because he's incredibly skillful, but in some ways he's a bit like Haller. Chelsea want
French.
to play.
French, but plays for the Ivory Coast.
He's French and slow.
Oh.
Whereas what our German friend wants is speed and efficiency. Giroud is efficient, but he's just not quick enough.
I am neither French nor am I slow.
Pass. So
may we.
Yeah, I'm not particularly worried about Chelsea either.
Okay. Look, I mean, we're gonna leave it there. I just want to say that Alan did send me this. I should probably put it on there. So I mean, look, there were plenty of people that agreed with you on all of this. It's certainly going to be very, very exciting. Thanks for joining us. We won't have you back, in all honesty. We've probably lost a few subscribers, But,
that doesn't surprise me. Who wants to listen to an old fart like me?
Don't know, but they listen to me. So it takes all sorts. Not only do they do that, they send stuff in and they write comments and they get involved. But they're a good bunch, to be perfectly honest with you. So yeah, listen. Fair enough, mate. You've come on here. You've pleaded guilty. You've explained yourself. I dare say, I would imagine one or two of these feisty regulars who post will say, get that old what's it on again, even if he did come on and swear.
When?
About 2 minutes ago. It wasn't the worst. It wasn't. Then you didn't go nuclear with it, to be fair. But this is a family show. There's children watching, probably crying now. Particularly if they're Arsenal fans. Is that man? That man swore and he said nasty things about David Luiz.
And Grant Xhaka.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for joining us, mate. You need to be quiet now. So do I. So we need to play the end slate. I'm going to try and, in fact, I'm not going to play a bit of music over the end slate. I'm not sure how to do it. Any final words? Anything else you want to say?
I just hope we keep our key players fit.
Fair enough. End slate. There we go. Insert tune here.
Jolly good.
No, seriously, it's still recording.